So guys, for the past 1 week now, the National Assembly has been coming up with all these bills that have passed second reading. This one passed second reading. About 40 of them mentioned that I have seen in so many platforms. People are talking about it, and Honorable Gochinyere also don't talk about them in this particular interview where I go show us just a little bit of what he said. But before that, one of the bill where I just see that for me, I'm not seeing it seeing the light of the day. Yes, I'm not seeing some of these bill that after they have concluded in the National Assembly that it will see the light of day, because after the bill, before a bill will become a law, it must be signed by the president. And the governors will also support it before it will be signed by the president, if I'm not mistaken. You get the point? Now, one of the bills they are talking about, which I know may not be able to happen, and maybe it might happen after 2027 when the president will sign it, is the Electoral Acts reform. That one, even if not you, something that might affect you. You get the point? You might not be able to allow that thing to happen. You get the point? That one is aside. Then the second one, though they said they have passed about 40 bills into that passed the thing that passed the second reading. Another one that I'm not seeing that it will see the light of the day is this particular bill that's talking about that they want to remove immunity from the president, the vice, the governor, and the deputies, which means they will not have any immunity again if they do anything that the National Assembly have the right to summon them and ask them question of waiting that happen. You get the point? Even if they do anything that has to do with the ego, with money, that they'll be invited, ask question, and also they will face waiting the thing go come with. You get the point? That's another bill where they see that we never, that we, even themselves doing it, know that they are just playing, because some of them has a political ambition to become a governor tomorrow. Some are having a political ambition to become the president tomorrow. So them, they know that they're just playing. I think all these things is just, say 2027 is around the corner. These people, they are using our brain sometimes. 2027 is around the corner. Some of these bills they are bringing up now, what they will use this thing to do now is to do campaign. Yes, many of them that still want to go back to the Senate and the National House, they will be like, when they come to you to campaign, they will be like, that we have about 40 bills that we want to pass, that you should vote us back again so that we go and complete it. It will be for the interest of the masses. That's what my mind is telling me. I'm talking my mind. Yes, that's what my mind is telling me, that we need to go back. If we have new people in the house now, that they will start afresh to look into those things, and I think we take another 1 year, 2 years, 3 years before it will come to see the lot of the day. That's what I'm saying that's gonna be happening, because the election is by the corner. But let me just stop here and allow you to hear just a little bit of what Honorable Gochinyere has to say concerning the bills that have passed the second reading. But for me, campaign is around the corner. I'm seeing some of them using all the things that do not to campaign. I remember my homos said, Ekman, peace and love, don't play.
Yeah, it's not just me. Most of them have 30-something, 40-something members co-sponsoring with me. But the beautiful thing is that the leadership of the House set the tune for what is happening since Wednesday to Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Tuesday, we'll have 40 bills crossing second reading, mainly judicial, political, economic reforms. They will have 44 on Wednesday crossing second reading. And today, being Thursday, we had 49 crossing second reading.
That's extraordinary.
Each of them, yes, have far-reaching implications on our democracy, constitutional governance, quest for economic development, and so on and so forth. So because they said the time I said it's part of our legislative agenda, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kanu, said this whole week is going to be about constitutional amendment, so that we can move everything to the Constitutional Amendment Committee so that they can fine-tune it and bring it back for the final stage. And that is the opportunity that gave us room to bring up this consideration. Some of them have been there for 1 year or thereabout. But the key one, like you said, is the one to amend the Constitution to make provision for simultaneous conduct of election into the office of the president, vice president, governor, senate, rep, state assembly, and so on and so forth, all in one day. And the reason is very simple. We have tried different forms and systems, and our election credibility has not that over improved. And we strongly believe that, one, we can reduce cost of doing election, because we normally have president, senate, and rep the same day. We're just adding to the governorship and state assembly. So the same ad hoc staff, the same electoral material, just the ballot paper is what is going to change, and the result sheet. And again, one of the problems we are facing is voter apathy caused by people losing confidence in the electoral process over the years. So if you have all election in one day, supporters of the state assembly candidate, supporters of the senator, supporters of the rep candidate, supporters of the president, and supporters of the governors are going to troop out to vote. In that case, you're going to first has large turnout of voters. In terms of election security, agent issues. When you now have agents for state assembly, for different parties, agent for rep, senate, presidency, agency alone will give you almost about 20 people at the polling unit. So we may be having a situation whereby the usual voter apathy and lack of agents at the polling unit that allows some running up and down will be a thing of the past, because you're going to have hundreds of people turning out in the polling unit. But the beautiful aspect of it is that there's one aspect of our election that has faced challenges, which is credibility of accreditation. You see strange and what I call somebody that ran for governorship will have 100,000 as accredited voters, and somebody that ran for senate will now have maybe something like 200,000 accredited voters. So that what does that tell you? It means that people keep changing the election figures. They keep changing the accreditation. But if you have all election in one day, you now have a situation whereby once the state assembly results is announced, because the state assembly candidate will do everything possible to get his result. Once the result is announced and says state assembly for this LUGA is 10,000, that means that the result for the presidency, for the senate and governorship of that LUGA cannot exceed 10,000. So you now have those kind of situations in Kogi where somebody will win 100,000 for House of Rep, and somebody running for Senate from the same LUGA will now be scoring 200,000. That means that when they are losing, they now look for a particular weak LUGA and increase the number. So this will help us to clean the accreditation process and put a peg. And for litigation purposes, if you have announced the result for State Assembly and given the person the result sheet, the person that ran for Rep cannot have 10,000 from a polling unit that the rep candidate had 5,000 as accreditation. So that will expose, the fraudulent practices of, indiscriminate change of accreditation process. And also, which is very important, that bill also has provisions, part of it which went first, second reading and has gone on the issue of mandatory transmission of election results, and also using the electronic transmission system as the basis for determining dispute. So you cannot have a situation whereby Beaver's machine is showing 5,000 accredited voters. Somebody is parading a result that is also showing 20,000. This kind of situation will not happen, because the result from the Beavers will not be used for determining that dispute. And more importantly, the issue of assessing the certified true copy for litigation, that INEC will continue to delay the legal department, you go back and forth. There is mandatory provision that within 14 days, that information must be made available. And the person that is providing it, failure to do so, will have imprisonment attached to it.
Well, the interesting thing about all this, it sounds really impressive listening to you talk about it, but people are reminded